All right. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today for our session, Prove Who You Are with GPG. Just real quick before we get started, please be sure to check in at hackp.ac/GHW/GPG so that you can get your point for joining. I don't know. Is anybody else seeing a blank screen or is it working for you? Let me know in chat. Okay, hello. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for confirming. Good. YouTube is working well also. Yeah, if it's not working for you on Twitch, feel free to check it out on YouTube under Major League Hacking. All right, perfect. Cool. So without further ado, let's get started. Are you curious about how to level up in your security game in this digital world? Look no further. Join us for a fun and useful workshop here. I'm just reading the description here, but during this session, we're going to talk about what is GPG, how to use GPG, how to encrypt, sign, decrypt files, emails, and documents, and lastly, how to sign your Git commits so you can prove to the world who you are. By the end, you will get the green checkmark, verified checkmark on all your commits to GitHub. So yeah, let's get started. My name is Wei, and I am a technical program associate here at MLH Fellowship. I use he, him pronouns, and fun fact, I'm traveling and I have a 50-inch TV radiating in my face right now. I'm using it as a second monitor here, so pardon me if I have to turn my head to the left. All right. So let's jump into it. Intro to GPG. What is it? What can it do? And what are some real-world use cases? I found a very, very good article on GitHub, someone published on GitHub, about what GPG is. All right, so there's this concept called PGP, which stands for pretty good privacy. And then there are different implementations of this standard, if you will. So you might see the word PGP, GPG, OpenPGP, etc. Across the web. But for the purpose of this workshop, you can consider them to be the same thing. All right. So we're going to take a quick look at what it is. All right. So has anyone heard of SSH, or do you use SSH? If you do, then you already kind of know what this is, public key cryptography. How it works is every user will have a key pair. They will have a private key that only they have access to, and the public key that the world have access to, right? The private key is private, the public key is public. These two keys are linked, and we'll talk about how they work in just a minute here. So using the public and private key cryptography, we can do encryption very easily. So let me show you a quick illustration of how an encryption might work using public and private keys. As you can see here, given a raw file, if you're trying to send me a document, right? You have a document, raw file. You can find my public key public on the web, right? You can encrypt the file using the public key and send the encrypted file to me. Nobody will be able to decrypt it besides me. So once I receive the file, encrypted file, I can then use my private key, which is linked to the public key. I have the private key. I can then decrypt that file to retrieve the original file. So that's kind of the encryption and decryption process, like a simplistic way of explaining that. Yeah. So that's what two of the features of GPG, which is encryption and decryption. Another thing it can do is signing, right? So if you have like a press release that is public to the web, you don't really need to encrypt it, right? The way you can verify that the press release came from you is you can sign a hash of that file and distribute it along with the file so that everybody in the world knows that you're the person who issued the document. So those are some different ways, different features of GPG. Does anyone have any questions? Let me get a different banner up here. There you go. That's cryptography. Yep. Thanks for, oh, can we get the link to the article? Sure. I will also share this link towards the end. Okay, so that is the link to the article. And why should you care, right? You might ask, like, who would use such a thing? Like, why do I care? There are a number of use cases for GPG here. The number one is email security. As you may know, email is a very insecure protocol that's developed in very early ages of the internet. So encrypting email is one of the best use cases of GPG. You can send an encrypted email. Nobody will be able to decrypt it on the way. Only the recipient on their computers can then decrypt it and see the contents of the email. So that is one use case. Another use case is encrypt files. So if you have a top secret document that you want to send it out to somebody, you probably don't want to use email directly. It's best to encrypt the file. No matter what protocol you use, there's always vulnerabilities and potential attack vectors. So by sending an encrypted file, only the recipient will then be able to decrypt it. So that is another use case. We'll actually do an example of this shortly. And another use case would be signing Git commits. We'll have a workshop at the second half of this session. So basically, Git is not a very secure protocol, if you will. You can actually very easily commit under other users' name and emails. It's very, very easy, and GitHub actually lets you do this very easily. I will show this vulnerability in the second half. So it makes it vulnerable, right? What GitHub came up with is they allow you to upload your GPG keys, public key, so that GitHub will know that commits are coming from you. By doing that, they will give you a verified green mark on every single one of your commits. All right. So those are some different use cases. If you use Ubuntu or Debian-based apt repository, it handles GPG automatically for you to verify downloads of various packages. And there are, a number of other use cases, right? So those are some reasons why you would want to use GPG and why people use it. So let's jump into a quick workshop here. Does everybody have a GitHub account? Let me know in chat if you have a GitHub account. I'm going to pull up my GitHub account real quick for my stream right here. Cool. So since everybody has a GitHub account, let's get started. What we're going to do today is you're going to fork this repository. Let me send the URL in chat so that you can open it directly. We're going to go to this URL. And what we're going to do is click fork. Okay. Good question here. Are we talking about PGP or GPG? I explained it towards the beginning. Basically, they're interchangeable. They're implementations of the same underlying protocol. So you can consider them the same for the purpose of this workshop. All right, so let me know in chat once you fork this repository. This is basically an empty repository, right? So I clicked fork. 12 people already forked it. Way to go. That's really fast. So I'm going to hit create fork on my account as well. Okay, and take a few seconds here. We'll wait for it to continue, I got it. Cool. If anybody needs more time, just let me know in chat. So what we're gonna then do is, just to make things simpler, we're going to do this workshop inside GitHub Codespaces. If you haven't used GitHub Codespaces, you just need to click the code button on the top of your repo, the newly forked repo, and click to create codespace on master. Okay, so what this is going to do is create a Ubuntu virtual machine for you in the cloud and connects you to a VS Code web instance that is connected to that virtual machine. Essentially, it gives you a free virtual machine to work with for free. This is actually free for public repos, I believe. GitHub has a generous free quota for public repos. So definitely check that out for your own application development as well in the future. But for now, we're going to do this demo by clicking create code space on master. Yeah, Demir says code spaces is absolutely amazing. Agreed. So once you have code space up, your code space up, it should show a Visual Studio Code web instance like this. Just let me know in chat once you're able to see it. And if you need to take more time, just let me know. Yeah, it's setting up. It takes a few seconds to spin up a new code space. It's setting up. Perfect. Is code spaces same as Gitpod? Yes, I believe Gitpod was first at doing this, and then GitHub kind of went into the same market. And of course, GitHub has tighter integration with its own products. Okay, so missed the part where you showed how to fork it. So all you have to do is go to the URL I sent, which is way/GHW GPG, and click fork on the very top. Once you do that, click code and code spaces, create a new code space right here. Can I repeat if the part? Okay, so let's just Google GitHub code space pricing. Okay, so you get 120 core hours per month, and you can read more about what that means. I believe you basically get one code space for free forever. Okay, so once you're in the code space, you should see a README file called readme.md, right? That will tell us that you have it all set up. All right, perfect. So let's go back to our slides. Let me make this bigger so that it's easier to follow. And let me go back to my slides here. So what we're going to do is, the first step is we're going to generate a GPG key. And you can see the command right here. Let me see if I can just copy that and give it to you so you don't have to type it out. Okay, so go ahead and run that command. I will show that real quick, and you can run it on your code space, like so. GPG space -- gen key. Can I share the GitHub link in the discussion? So the GitHub link is right here. You can scroll up in chat and you should be able to find it. But it's right here, way/GHW-GPG. Okay, so we're gonna do GPG -- gen key together. And it only asks you for 2 questions really. What is your real name? My real name is Way on Stream, if you don't already know. That's my real name. And my email address is wayonstream@gmail.com. Okay. All right. And it's going to say you selected this user ID, wayonstream@gmail.com. Say O as in OK. And then it will prompt you for a passphrase. Make sure you remember this passphrase. You're going to have to enter it anytime you sign something. All right. So for now, I'm going to come up with a passphrase. Only I know. Re-enter. After a few seconds, it's going to create a GPG key for me. Perfect. All right, let me go back to chat while everybody goes through this. Is this for verifying commit? Yes, that's one of the use cases of GPG, but we're first going to show you how to encrypt, decrypt, sign files, etc. The command which is executed in code spaces is not applied to our local computers. Correct. The code space is its own server, its own Ubuntu computer in the cloud. So anything you execute on it are only within that instance, not your local computer. You did this yesterday, so you're a little bit ahead, but I bet you didn't try to encrypt and decrypt files yet. We're going to show you right after this. Okay, so give me a thumbs up in chat once you see the same thing I do, which is public and secret key created and signed. Right here, you should see a pub and a sub. Perfect. Now you have your very own personal GPG key. We'll wait for a couple more folks to give me the thumbs up, and then we can continue. You don't know your passphrase? So you need to create a passphrase during the creation process. If you don't know it, I would suggest you don't remember it. I suggest you create a new one. What to write in passphrase? Anything. This is like a little passcode that you will use to when you use your GPG key. Okay. Yes, you do type in a new passphrase. You type the same one twice during the generation process. Let's share our passphrases in chat. Go ahead, Demir. I'd love to see. Okay, expires after a year. So we're using a simplified key generation process. So the idea is, you can configure. If you're using the full generation process, you can configure more things like how long is the key valid, etc., which is using the command -- full gen key. But for the purpose of this demo and workshop, we're going to use the basic gen key feature, which defaults to 1 year. Okay. Thank you for your questions. Let me change the banner to ask any questions in chat. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now you need to find your key ID. So this is very important because the ID determines, the ID uniquely identifies your key. So let's use this command and get the IDs of your key, and make sure you store it somewhere because we're going to be using it. So let me go ahead and run that real quick. You should see something like this. This is the full ID of the key. All right, so we're going to take note of this somewhere. I'm just going to create a new document here and pop it in temporarily, but my GPG key ID. Okay. Yeah, I will share the slides and all the links at the end. Okay, so let me know if you have your GPG key. Note, this is the long form GPG key that looks like this. All right. It's quite long. I don't know how many characters it is. Yeah. Okay, give me a thumbs up once you have the key ID. Good work. Got the key. Thanks very much, everybody, for letting me know. If you need more time, just let me know. Okay. All right. So the next step, you don't have to do this. I'm going to do it for my key. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload my key to a key server by using the send keys key ID command. This will make my key available for the world, so anybody will be able to find my key, right, publicly using my email. So I'm going to run this command, but you don't have to run it right now. If you decide to run it, you can do it, but you don't have to. Okay. So I'm going to do GPG send keys, and I'm going to put in my ID here. Okay, so as you can see, the output of this command, sending my key to this key server, keys.openpgp.org. All right, it's actually a website. So if you go there now, keys.openpgp.org, and search for wayonstream@gmail.com. Oh, it says not found. That's not cool. So I wonder if it takes a little bit of time for it to sync up. Can I share the command? Sure. Okay. So this is how you send your key to a key server, to the default key server of GPG. Yes, this session is recorded. It will be available on Twitch as well as YouTube after the session. The keys are not, the keys are not only used on GitHub. You can use it for many things. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I still don't see it. Let's just search for my key ID and see if it's there. Okay, we found it. Found the entry, and if we go to it, you can download my key, right? Perfect. So now let me try to search using my email. All right, it's still not found. Okay. Let's go back to our slides and actually try this using command line. So there is so the step 5 is download my private key, right? My being Wayonstream's private key. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try this command and see if it's actually found on the key server. All right, so let me try it before I send the command in chat. Okay, it's not found. So I believe what I missed was I needed to add my email to the key a different way. But for the purpose of this demo, we're not going to worry about that. We can just use the key ID directly. So let's see if we can find the key ID directly. Okay, found. The key ID is found. Perfect. I got an email saying it's published without. Oh, a link is given. Okay. Thank you. You're saving. Let's see if I got it too. Okay, perfect. You saved my life. Thanks a lot. So yeah, when you publish a key with an email address, they send a verification email to confirm that you own that email address. So only you will be able to publish your key. So let me go ahead and click this link here to verify my email address. Okay, send verification email. And boom. Verified. Perfect. Okay. So now all we have to do then is go back to our slide. We can run GPG search keys, Wayonstream gmail.com, and that should give you my key. Let me know if it shows up. Immediately got it. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. Yep. Yes, it does. Perfect. So by searching the key, I believe, yeah, perfect. Everybody's working. Very good. Okay. By searching the key, you would have downloaded my key to your system, all right? So what we're gonna do then is to confirm that you do have the key in your system. We can do that by GPG --list keys. This will give you a list of all the keys that you have downloaded in the system. Okay. I'll run the same thing. And yours might look a little bit different from mine because you also have your own key there. So you should see your key as well as my key way on stream in the output. Let me know if you do. You're only seeing your key? Okay. If you're only seeing your key, try to run this command once more, search keys. That should download it for you, okay? Okay, press 1. Okay, got it. So that's what was missing. Once you search my key, found my key, press 1 to import the key, and that will give you it in your system. Well, everybody's helping me out today. Thank you so much. Seeing both. Perfect. Seeing both. Thank you. All right. All right, showing error. Yeah, if you don't mind posting the error or maybe a screenshot on Discord, I'm sure we can figure it out for you. All right, both are visible. So thank you so much, everybody, for confirming. Okay, let's just recap what we did. We created a GPG key. We published, you don't have to, but I published my key to the key server, and everybody was able to download my public key so that you can communicate with me. Okay. With just a few simple commands, you now are fully set up with GPG. Okay, so we have a question. Should I use the same key or make new for another website? That is your decision. Typically, you just have one key. You can actually create subkeys. That's more advanced. I won't talk about it, but you can create subkeys originated from your main key that you can use for different websites and stuff if you want to, but you could just use the same one. Another question we have is, can I do this on my local PC? You can, and I will send some resources towards the end on how to do it on different operating systems. No option to send screenshots on Discord. Just double check you're on Discord. You can send it on Discord. You cannot send it in chat here, but you can send text if you wish. All right, I won't spend too much time on that. Let's jump to the next, which is signing files using GPG. If you look on the right, it's really just one command you need to do. GPG --sign --armor And what I'm asking everybody to do is create a hot take.txt file and input a hot take. Input one of your hot takes. Okay. So for me, I'm going to go to my code space and I'm going to create a new file called hot take.txt. And inside there, I'm going to, let me think of a hot take. Something that's controversial, but not too controversial. Does anybody have any suggestions in chat? I'm going to say RGB keyboards are overrated. I can never see it. So that is my hot take. What do you think about that? Think of your own hot take and create a hot take.txt file. Yep. All right. So make sure you have a hot take.txt file. Let me know once you create one. Just make sure you save this file once you create it. Save your edits. Save your best hot takes for later. We're gonna go through them in just a little bit. But thank you for spewing them out in chat. We want to keep them secret. We don't want to get any hate. Okay. So yeah, let me know once you have this file saved. I have to admit, I do have a Blahaj on my couch. I would show you if I wasn't traveling. Okay, so everybody has hot take saved, right? All right, we can very easily sign this file by running the one-line command, GPG --sign --armor hot take. So just real quick, I'll explain what this does. GPG is the name of the program. We're going to sign it. Very obvious what we're going to do. And armor is a flag. That means we're going to convert it to a base64 text file instead of a binary file. So once we sign it, it's going to output a file that is text. So we'll see what it looks like. Let's run this. Yeah, you notice it prompts you for the passphrase that you created. Let me see if I remember this correctly. And boom. So yeah, let me know once you run this. If you run this successfully, you should see a second file inside your folder called hottake.txt.asc. Signing failed, screen or window too small. I haven't seen this before. Maybe try to maximize your window and see if that resolves it. Oops. You're a little bit late, but not too bad. You can go to YouTube and actually go back to the beginning if you want to follow along. Okay, so you should see this .asc file, and if you notice, it looks like this: begin PGP message, end PGP message, right? So it looks like a bunch of gibberish, but this is the they call armored output of this signed file, hottake.txt. Okay. All right. Does everybody have the signed.asc file? Okay. So once you have this file, this is your signed hot take. So only you, well, everybody can only view this by decrypting this PGP message, and they will see who signed it, and they will see the contents of the message, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to open this file and post the contents of the file to this GitHub issue, all right? Post your hot take, signed hot take to this issue here. So I'm going to do it first. I'm going to copy my signed hot take and pop it right in here. I'm going to use 3 ticks before and after the code block to make it look nice, and comment. Okay, we got some more hot takes coming in. Perfect. So as you are doing this, let's go through some of them and read them. Okay. So to read you can do this on your code space as well. To read hot takes, put the signed message into a file and run the decrypt command. That's all you have to do. Let me paste the command here. We have a question. Can you show us again how to navigate from code space? So on the left here, there's a file explorer that you can open and collapse. And under that, you will see all the files you have in your code space. Does that answer your question? All right, all the hot takes start with the same characters. Why? I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say there's like overhead characters of the text file or the PGP protocol that makes them the same. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through a few of them and let's see what everybody's hot takes are. So I'm going to just overwrite my hottake.txt file, or actually I'll overwrite my hottake.txt.asc file, save, and gpg-decrypt hottake.txt.asc. So that would be the command to decrypt a file. And we have our first hot take. I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's been too many years since my math class. All right, let's go to our second hot take. Let's see what Demir has. All right, we have a question here. Do we have to decrypt from a .txt.asc file, or can it be any file type? It can be any file type. I'm going to demonstrate that real quick. Any file type any file .abcd, save, and I can do the same thing. GPG decrypt any file .abcd, and it works. Demir needs an explanation for the first one, so please let us know in chat what you mean. Demir says socks and sandals are a good match. Yeah. What do you think? Classic Demir. Okay, we'll look at a few more. We have one from JUnion44. That's not bad. Brain user 5705 says, but not Crocs and socks. So this one, the C language is not built by sadists. Not bad. I like it. All right, we'll look at one more and then we'll go to the next segment. All right. Okay, so those are the some of our hot takes. If you want to see more, feel free to scroll down and take a look at everybody's hot take. And yeah, thanks for sharing, everybody. Nobody can, nobody can really bash you on this because it's all signed and armored. Nobody can really read it without GPG right now. So let's go to the next. Okay. So we have a very, very good question. Why is it that we're all able to decrypt each other's message when we sign with different keys? The answer is you did not encrypt the files. You only signed the files. If you remember from our first website, we used the signing feature of it. So basically the actual file is fully visible. It's like I'm publishing a news release. Everybody can see it. I'm signing the hash. I'm signing a digest of the file to prove that I was the one who signed it, who issued the document. So that's what we did. Very shortly, we're going to, well, we might not encrypt it, but the way you encrypt it is very easy, right? So instead of dash dash sign, you just do dash dash encrypt. And then you do have to, okay, we actually have an example. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. We have someone who's still stuck with a window error. Please feel free to maximize it so it's as big as it can be, or try a different browser. Okay, so we're going to learn about how to encrypt and decrypt files. When you encrypt a file, we have to encrypt it using someone's key, public key, right? Because we are sending it to somebody. We only want that recipient to be able to decrypt the file. And the way you do that is using dash dash encrypt along with dash dash recipient flags on this command. So let me go ahead and paste this in chat. Okay, so with this command, you're encrypting this file, so only I can decrypt it. So go ahead and try that. And then at the end, I'm going to say, please encrypt, so only I can see your hot takes. Okay? With that, I'm going to run this command. I'm going to overwrite the file since I'm encrypting it again, or I'm encrypting it this time. And you will get something that is very similar in the format of the output. This almost looks identical, right? But let me just post mine here. If everybody else could post yours here as well. You will notice that you will not be able to decrypt this message. All right, thank you so much for coming. It's 1:18 a.m. All right, thank you for your dedication. Hope it's worth your while. All right, so we have some hot takes from Bring user 5705. if you try to decrypt it yourself, it's going to work for me, of course, since I encrypt, or they brain user 7505 encrypted it for me. But here, let me just show you that it works. Decrypt, hot take. Okay. Note you had to use your you had to use your passphrase when you use your private key to decrypt it, unlike when we were just kind of decrypting the signed file. So stickers aren't actually swag, are they? That is a very good question. I had this doubt myself. I don't blame you. What does everybody think? Okay, so just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to encrypt my file to somebody else, random person. Okay, so I actually don't have the key of a random person, so it's not going to work for me. But when you are doing it, when you're trying to decrypting these files after my message, these hot takes, I don't think you'll be able to do so. All right. All right. Does everybody understand how to encrypt and decrypt files now? It's really rather easy. You use -- encrypt and -- decrypt. Okay. Perfect. I'm glad you're learning, because this might come handy when the time comes. Okay. All right, we have a question. Joining late. What's GPG? I recommend going to YouTube and just start from the beginning if you would like to follow along. But I will be sharing the slides at the end if you would like to check that out. Where can we get the link? I will share it at the end. Okay. So I think everybody's good here. All right. Thank you so much for posting those hot takes. I will be enjoying them after the session. Now, let's go to the second half of our workshop, which is signing Git commits. Okay. So as I promised, it's actually very, very easy to impersonate another GitHub user. And I was doing some research on GitHub, trying to see who the most popular user is. And I'm thinking I'm going to use Linus, who's the inventor of Linux, as an example. So I'm going to open up his GitHub. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to show you. I'm opening up his GitHub profile here. Right, you notice like there's no email addresses or username, or there's a username, but there's no email address associated. So you don't really know what they used to commit, right? Commit to Git. All right, so what I'm going to do is copy his username, and I'm going to search for all the commits that he makes. I think it's called author. And I'm going to do commits. And then most recent commits. Recently committed. So here we see the most recent commits by Linus, and you actually see him contributing to a number of repositories, right? So what we can do is let's just take a look at one of his original commits, like this one. All right, so this is the change that he made. We can see that. All you have to do is put in .patch at the end of the URL, and you will get the raw git patch file for this commit. And here, guess what we have? We have the name and email addresses that he uses to commit. All right, so now we're going to impersonate him and try to commit something as Linus. 186 million commits. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. All right, can you ask a question? Yeah, feel free to drop your questions in chat. It's this Linus. All right. All right, so now we have his name and email. I'm going to grab it real quick and go to my code space. You don't have to do this. I just want to illustrate to you how to impersonate somebody on GitHub. And I'm actually going to copy a command that I have previously written. So I'm going to take my hot take file and I'm going to say, I wish Linux was called Linus. Okay, so that's his hot take. And I'm going to stage this file. If you are not familiar with Git, the way you stage a file is git add hottake.txt. I have a question. Can I make VS Editor dark themed? Sure. Just for you. Themes. Color theme. Dark. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So of course this is not a quote from Linus, right? But we can commit using this command. Hold on, the command is right here. So it's a 2-line command. Well, you can make it 1 line, but if you make it 2 lines, make sure to include this slash at the end, so it's a single command. So what I can do is change the git committer name to Linus and change the committer email to his email. And we're using git commit -- author flag also to make sure he's both the committer and the author of the commit. And I can include a message. Here is my hot take, maybe. My hot take, okay? Terms of service violation. I will remove this commit right after. How's that? Okay, so I'm gonna do this real quick. Git committer name, git committer email, my hot take. Empty. Okay, it didn't work. So I think I'm just going to kind of write it out, or actually write it out directly, so there are no warnings on my command. Paste. Okay. Commit is successful. So now if I do a git log, you will see that the author of this commit is indeed Linus. I can actually push it now. Okay, successful. So now if I go search for all the commits by Linus, it didn't show up. So why didn't it show up? Let's see. Here, let's go to the repo directly. Okay, so you can see that Linus has made a commit to my repo. It has his name, username, and you can actually click on it to see his user profile and everything. And you can look at the contents of the commit, which is, I wish Linux was called Linus. Okay. So that's how you can impersonate somebody on GitHub. It's very, very easy. Anybody can commit as anybody by just using a couple lines. Okay. So we have a question. Okay, hold on. We'll go from this one. Are we actually hacking his account? We are not hacking his account. We're just illustrating that on GitHub, we're using Git you can specify any author and committer of each commit, and GitHub just trusts it by default and shows it on their webpage. What exactly is happening here? We haven't touched GPG keys at all. So this is unrelated to GPG. I'm just showing how you could impersonate somebody very easily. Yeah, it's more like a flaw or feature of GitHub. So, all right. So I've demonstrated to you how that works, right? I'm now going to, well, here's a command, by the way. If you want to impersonate me, you can use this command. But let me just fix this real quick since the other notation didn't work before. Okay, so here it is. You can use this commit or this command to commit anything as wait on stream. Okay, so that is the command. Yeah. So remember this. This might come handy at the end. I missed the $sign. Yeah, I might have. So for now, I'm just going to use this full. Yeah, I did use $sign, but I think there are some weirdness with the greater than, less than symbols. So I won't worry about it for now. Okay. So let me just close out some tabs. Before anything, let me just undo this commit real quick. And what I'm going to do is hard reset. You don't have to do this since I don't want Linus to sue me or anything. I can hard reset to this initial commit that I have and do a force push. And that's how you would typically wipe out a Git commit. So I will do git reset, hard reset to this. I can just do a git reset to this commit. And now if I do git log to see the history, you will see that Linus's commit is no longer here. And then I can do a force push. This is very dangerous in the real world. So make sure you know what you're doing. And just like that, Linus's commit is no longer there. If I can find I think I closed the tab. But with this, Linus's commit is no longer in my repo. This is to commit to whatever repo we have access to, correct? Why would I keep the $sign? And delete. Or delete the repo. I could do that too. What should you do? I don't know what you should do. Delete the repo. Would it show in his commit history? Yes, it would. It would actually show under his commit history if you're searching on GitHub of all his previous commits because of how GitHub works. Okay, so we're going to continue. Okay, why would we need to do this anyway? Yeah, I'll show you. So now GitHub has a solution to this, all right? So the GitHub documentation, here, let me just Google real quick, verification, commit signature verification, it's called. They have a way to verify that you are who you say you are by verifying the signature of the commits. And once they verify it, they actually give you a green verified badge next to all your commits. Okay. So this will tell everybody that the commit is indeed originated from you. And we're going to show you how to do it, right? So first, retrieve your key ID if you don't already have it. And the command to retrieve the key is this just to refresh your memory. Okay. And then the second command we're going to use is export. We're going to export your public key in a readable string format. So the next command we're going to run is export the public key. Okay, so I'm going to run it on my machine. I have my key ID saved from before. Okay, and you'll see a big block of output that is your public key. So I'm going to output it to a file by adding this redirection, output redirection to Wei's public key, Wei.pub maybe, and see this public key right here. So let me know in chat once you have a public key that starts with begin PGP public key block. So let me know once you have this. Here is the last slide. We're on step number 2 right now. Export your public key. Okay, so we have it, perfect. We'll give everybody a few more moments. You can, as I said, you can redirect to a key file if you'd like by using this command. So of course, replace the key ID and then use the greater than sign with the file name that will give it to you in a file, right? What is SSH keys? It's very similar to GPG keys. Yes, it's also using public key cryptography. Okay, so let me know if you need me to wait, but for now, I'm going to continue. So select all and copy your public key, right? Once you copy it, go to GitHub, settings, and under access, we have SSH and GPG keys. So this is where you would typically paste in your SSH public key or GPG public key, okay? And all I'm going to do is add a new GPG key, paste my key down below, and call it a on stream code or public key, maybe. Okay. All right, it's going to verify my password, which I will have to find real quick. Okay. SSH is a different topic that we can talk about a different day. For now, we're going to be focused on GPG keys. So let me know if you have any success doing this. After you add it, your key should show up right here. It should show your email address, a key ID, and a date. Wow, some of you are fast. Can we get slides? Yes, I will share the slides towards the end. Yeah, I will share it at the end. But if you like to type out the URL, you should be able to see it. I don't think you want to do that. Okay. All right, so once you have added it on GitHub, we are halfway done. Should I be really showing you my key ID? Yes, the key ID is public, right? So we talked about how we publish our keys, right? It is public. Everybody can see my key. Here, let me go back to the homepage, way on stream at gmail.com. Everybody can see my public key ID. Is there a way you can invalidate your public key? Yes, there is a way. I won't be covering it, but in the resources I share at the end, you will be able to find some commands on how to invalidate that and how to let the key servers know that you're invalidating your key. How do I do the script? At the end, if we have time in Q&A, you can ask me again and I'll show you the code. Okay, so now you have GPG here. We only have a couple more steps to go. So what we need to do is tell Git that you have this key, right? To use this key for signing your commits. So git config -- global key ID. This is how you let Git know. I'm going to run it here. And with my key ID. And enter. That's it. So now Git knows about your key. Okay. Let me just change the hot take back to how I had it before. Sure. Thank you so much for coming, Master Lance 001. Okay, so with that, we can now commit. We can now sign our commits using our GPG key. All you have to do, if you look at my slide, is anytime you run git commit, add a -s, uppercase S, with it, and your commit will be signed using your GPG key. But first, let me stage my hot take file. So I can do git add hot take just to stage this file and prepare it for commit. Then I can use the git commit -uppercase S to issue the commit. So let me do that. Here is place hot take. Okay, current user GPG signing not enabled on this repository. Okay, this is not good. Let's take a look. Let me just Google this command. Troubleshooting, no, not this one. Here, let me go to my other window. So if any of you want to help me out with this one, I really appreciate it, but I'll also do some research myself. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. Okay, we have to tell where's the GPG program. Error is not completely visible. So this error is actually multi-line, goes to the It's like 3 lines. All right, this might be where Stack Overflow comes in. One of our sponsors, right? Got the same error? Perfect. Global user signing key. Here, let me try something here. I'll set user signing key on the repo and see what happens. Okay, it didn't work. I wonder if you need to assign it to the repo somehow. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is frustrating. Very scary. Okay, so there's a command I found that can enable trace on this. Okay, so it's trying to run this command. Run command, failed to sign. Okay, I think I found it. I might have found it. Sure, let's see. So there's another command that we can try called GPG sign true. No, let's not do that. Okay, we might not be able to get this today. Okay, okay, got it. So GitHub doesn't sign commits for code spaces by default. Okay, let's take a look at this link. One, 127.1.1. Okay, so I think you might have to do some more. Yeah, I think you might have to do some more things to enable signing on GitHub Spaces, just because it's a virtual, like a temporary virtual machine environment that GitHub spins up for you. So GPG code space. I'll do another quick check here, and then if we can't do it, okay, so we have to enable GPG verification. Yeah, okay, so I guess we won't try this. We won't try this on the code space, which is completely A-okay. You can follow GitHub's guide to set it up locally if you would like to configure GPG when you use your local machine while committing. You can also look into this documentation on how to set up GPG verification on your code space if you would like to do that in the future. So I will share this. Well, we have this link here from X Frontier. Thank you so much for finding that for us. Okay, so that's the idea. And if you would like to automatically sign all your commits when you're doing it locally, you can use this command, config global commit.gpg sign true, and all your commits will be signed. All right. Okay, so that's enough, I think. Is anybody ready for a surprise prize? Let me know if you are, because I have a challenge for you. Whoever completes it first will get a surprise. Well, do you like surprise prize or swag drop? I feel like surprise sounds too much like surprise, which might not be a bad thing. Okay, we have some enthusiasm in the chat here. So what I'm gonna do then is let me remove all my files here. Okay, let me remove all my files. Remove these 3 files. And I'm going to create a file called surprise challenge. Okay. And in here, I'm going to take it off my share and put in some instructions. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put in some instructions. I'm not gonna let you see the instructions. Okay, so here's my VS Code back. I'm going to encrypt, or I'm going to sign this. Okay, I'm not going to encrypt it. I'm going to sign it. So GPG -- let me get my commands back. Sign armor surprise prize challenge.txt. Okay. And I'm going to commit this. Okay, so I'm going to commit this. So git commit, add surprise prize challenge pushed. Okay, so now I have published the signed version of my surprise prize challenge on my GitHub repo, and you can find the GitHub repo at, I think at right here. So I will share this. I will share this file here. So the file is in my GitHub repo, and here is the direct link to the file. Right, so you can get it onto your code space by running this command. This will give you the file on your code space. And if you can take a look at the instructions of the, of this surprise prize and complete the task, you'll win this surprise prize. Let me know if you have any questions. So I'll actually review the challenge in just a little bit. No wget. Okay. If there's no wget, you can use this command. Well, you can just go to this URL directly and copy the contents. So I'll give everybody, okay, wget worked for some, okay, perfect. I'll give everybody a couple minutes head start, and after that, I will reveal the rules. So do let me know, send the link once you complete the task, okay? Send the link. Let me go to a timer for 60 seconds. We'll give everybody 1 more minute, and then I will run the command myself and show you what the instructions are. All right, so we do have So we do have, what do we need to do in a challenge? The instructions of the challenge has been released in the link I have previously shared. So the instructions are right here. I will show you, I will decrypt this file and show it to you. But everybody who can decrypt it themselves will get about like 3-minute head start. Okay. Someone has exposed the instructions. You did get the instructions, but please read it. What I'm asking you to do. Okay, so I will decrypt it for everybody else. I will decrypt it for everybody else. How do I do it? Decrypt. Let's see. And yeah, this instruction is okay. It's being blocked by the message, but the instruction was create and push a commit with message. I believe the username should get a swag drop, but the catch is the commit has to be authored by Wait on Stream by me. The first person who completes this wins a swag drop. I don't need to sign the commit. Oh yeah, I could not sign the commit because of issues with code spaces, but I will share some resources for you to complete it locally. Yes, that is the instruction. Okay. Who can do it first? So let's take a look if anybody has done it. I'm curious. I think I can find it by going here. Okay, I don't think anybody has done it, but I could be wrong. Okay, so we have our first contestant. Let's take a look if he did it correctly. Let me just go to the very top, go to all the forks. Wait, how do I do it? Here, I'll go to Matt. And look at the commit history. Okay. Midnight 22 should get a swag drop 2 minutes ago. We have another contestant. Let's see who did it first. We don't need to sign it because we're impersonating me. Like everybody's impersonating me. Okay. I believe Midnight 22 should get a swag drop. All right, let's see if you're first. So the second contestant is right here. Okay. I don't think that is the correct commit number, but I would like to congratulate Midnight 22 for winning the surprise prize. Thank you for hanging there with us and complete this first. Good job. So yeah, so just to explain how it's done, all you have to do is decrypt, as I just showed you. And once you found the instructions, make a commit using this exact command, which I have previously shared. You got it too? Great, let's take a look. We got some other folks who has gotten it. Cam can do. I like the username. Very good, very good. Good job there. Perfect, thanks for committing. Yours did not work. Yeah, if you have any error messages, feel free to share it afterwards and we can help you out. But this is the command I previously shared, so you can take a look at a previous message. Okay. All right, so let me go back to my presenter view. Okay, so this is a recap of all the commands we have run. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in chat. And for now, we'll go into Q&A. So if you have any questions, please drop them in chat now. About you can ask anything about GPG, GitHub, MLH, or anything else. Cool. So we have our first question. How can I search up the commits from a user? So GitHub has this search interface, right? On github.com, you can search for, there's like search syntax that you can use, right? I'm using author worker, that's my username. And then you can choose like commits. Afterwards, you can go to like recently committed and recently authored. Yeah, I think GitHub takes a little bit of a time to sync up when they do their indexing of new commits, but you will be able to search using this method. How do I do the Discord battery script? Very good question. I'm going to show you the code. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Discord status that's updating based on my computer battery level. And the way I do it, I have a gist I can share with everybody in case you're interested. I just need to find it real quick. Okay, here it is. I'm going to paste it. So this is a script that lets me update Discord status on macOS. Depending on your operating system, you might need to tweak it a little bit. So this is a shell script. You can take a look here. I'm using some command line tools to get the battery percentage, get the powered on hours, get some emojis, and then I'm using a simple curl to talk to Discord API and update my status. You can read more on about this script at the link I have shared. Will this work on M2? I don't know. You can try it out. Yes, it will. Okay, perfect. Hopefully. All right, so the next question. How much do I like emojis and special characters? 120%, is that good? Okay, what happened about that error? So GitHub has some restrictions, I believe, on using GPG keys on code spaces. So you actually have to turn that on and before you can use it. There are some special setup. So I'm going to share a link at the end so that everybody can take a look and complete that afterwards. That shouldn't be a problem on your local machine though. How is the script running? Do I have a job? Yes, I have a cron job set up to run it every minute or 5 minutes, I can't remember. So I basically run this script every however many minutes. You should try for telling where the GPG is. I believe the program was found, but I'm not 100% sure. Feel free to try it out and let us know. Okay, great stream. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and I hope you learned something new. Good night. All right, we'll give everybody a few more minutes. how do I personally use GPG? So there's a company called Keybase. I don't know if you have heard of them, but they basically implemented GPG in a way that is very easy to use in terms of communications. So I use Keybase, and you can also use mail. There are mail clients that you can get that will sign and decrypt or encrypt and decrypt email messages directly for you. There are Chrome extensions you can also use if you would like to use, for example, Gmail with GPG encryption. All right, best session. I'm honored. Thank you. There are some more amazing sessions coming up, so stay tuned. Can I repeat this procedure? Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up real quick and then we'll go to the links. So thank you everybody so much for coming. This session, you learned about what GPG is. You learned about public key cryptography, how to generate your own GPG key, how to publish it to a key server, and how to communicate, encrypt, decrypt, sign files using GPG. And you also learned about GitHub Git impersonation and how to sign Git commits. I know we weren't successful in the session, but you should be able to do that locally very easily. And a lot of Git clients like SourceTree, GitHub, Desktop, etc., have built-in support for GPG. That will make it a little bit more easier to set up than what we did. So yeah, with that, we have some resources here. We have our workshop repo, GitHub repo here. We have some hot takes if you want to read other people's hot takes. We have the link I shared earlier about like an introduction to PGP. Here is a GPG cheat sheet that you can take a look on your own with a number of useful commands. Here's a link where GitHub talks about signature verification. And lastly, there's a GPG tools. This is an open source program that will help you work with GPG on your respective operating systems. So feel free to check those out. And just one last note on this slide is please export and back up your GPG private keys locally if you would like to continue using them afterwards, because GitHub code spaces get deleted after 30 days of inactivity. So if you lose access to those keys, you will not be able to get them back. And we have, okay, so let me take this off. We have our daily challenge as well. So if you would like to earn a point, here, let me find this. Let me just post this link here for the daily challenge. Here's the daily challenge, and at the end, you will see a GPG beginner challenge. All right. Feel free to leave a feedback or comment on my session in a text file, encrypted just for me. Remember, it's waitonstream@gmail.com, and submit it on DevPost, and you will earn a point for completing this challenge. So I really appreciate everybody for coming. And is that my last slide? Okay, so before I go, I have a few last questions here. Advice for a web dev looking for a job. This is a very good question, and there are sessions dedicated for this. That kind of ties into what I wanted to say, which is the next session is with our MLE chair named Zane, who is going to talk about how to get started with web front-end development, and you can definitely catch him and ask him about how he got into it and how his experience has been. Thank you, Demir, for coming and following along. It means a lot. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so lastly, I need to share the link to this slide as I promised everybody. So here is the link. Session. So yeah, thanks for reminding me that. And a link to the YouTube channel. Okay, so the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Major League Hacking. And under there, you will see we're currently live here. But if you click the live tab, you will see all the previous live sessions and recordings underneath. I will share a link to that as well. And to answer this question once more, how and what do we submit for the challenge? So for this GPG challenge, please create a text file containing some feedback for my session or anything you want to speak to me about, and encrypt it so that only I can read it. So make sure you use the -- recipient flag, which is right here. This one, so that I will be able to read your message. Hope that helps. Here are the session slides. And this is the link to the YouTube channel. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate everybody for coming. Hope you learned a thing or two. Be sure to stick around. In about 17 minutes, Zane will present us with his intro to getting started with web development. The surprise prize. Okay, please take a screenshot and share it. Open a Discord ticket, and the team will be able to tell you exactly what's in it. If you were at the first session today, I believe Ryan said it's going to be some vintage MLH swags that will be mailed to you in a package. So congratulations. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night to you as well. Take care.